Based on dishes from around the globe for only $5 or $6 in New York City. Sounds too good to be true. We'll show you the ins and outs of the Queens night market, which could be the city's best kept secret. We've got Greg back on the channel, resident food guide and native New Yorker.
Sir.
70 food stalls here. What do we got going on?
Yeah, the Queens Night Market is in Flushing Meadow Park here in Queens. It's been here since 2015, but it's expanded a lot over the years. So I've seen it grow. I've seen it become the best night market in the city, the first, and excited to eat, really hungry right now.
We're gonna start with Joey Bat's Cafe. I've actually covered them on the channel before. They've got a few different locations, but there's something unique here that you can't find anywhere else.
Absolutely. So they actually started off here in the night market years ago, and they become a real success story. You know, their pastel de nata, the egg tarts are really delicious, but they have something special here called bifana. It's a traditional Portuguese sandwich. It's marinated strips of pork on a house-made Portuguese roll. Delicious.
This is a Portuguese roll. It's called popsicle. It's very soft, and I like to serve the bifana on it. It's really good.
The joy of the night market is this bifana is $6. You are not gonna find a sandwich this big anywhere in New York for $6.
Definitely not. Look how generously they pile these strips of marinated pork on here. She dipped it in the extra gravy too.
Yeah.
It's so saucy and juicy. It's like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore, but I gotta tell you what this is all about.
All right, let's just take a bite. Yeah, let's rock. I just cleanly bit through 4 different pieces of pork. That might be a personal record. It's so juicy. You just feel that gravy in every bite.
So this is marinated in a beer and wine sauce. I think I really tasted the wine on that first bite too. It's really complemented nicely by this house-made Portuguese roll. It's very light, fresh.
We're gonna tap out after one spot. This thing is so big. That's the great thing about the night market. Every stall you go to, you can try something you've never tried before because they've got stalls from all over the world.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is that you really can't find Portuguese food very easily in New York City. It's actually only really Joey Bat's, and he mostly is selling the egg tarts at other locations like Grand Central. This is the only spot he's selling the bifana for now. Keyword for now. I can see this really taking off one day.
Something we definitely need to discuss is how the night market has served as a springboard for a lot of really famous businesses to pop up. They start here, they gain a following, and then they're off to the races.
Absolutely. I would say Joey Bat's is probably the biggest example of that. Really started here. Now you can go to Grand Central before you hop on the Metro North. You can grab a pack of the pastel de nata, the egg tarts, which he's most famous for. I think Chelsea Market, a few other locations. He's really taken off. He's got like a mini empire based off just starting right here at Queens Night Market, which is incredible.
Speaking of pastel de natas, I mean, they saw us filming and they know us, so they decided to give us 6 of these bad boys. And I had some of these when I was in Spain recently, and I know they're Portuguese. They didn't even come close to this, I'm telling you. They didn't even come close. I was missing Joey Bat's in Europe.
You can really just smell that cinnamon coming off this already.
Ready? Never too early for dessert, even the first stall. So sweet, so crumbly.
Yeah, I like that it's not overly sweet, got a nice crunchiness, and I love the little bit of cinnamon on top. I think that's really what makes this extra special.
Has a real holiday vibe to it.
Yeah, that cinnamon flavor really gets that. Always consistent, always delicious, I'll say.
This is tough because we've got like 68 more stalls to eat at, so we better slow down.
Brought my appetite, but let's see.
You gotta fast all day for this.
We have 2 traditional too.
We have 2 coconut juices as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg, you know what my favorite thing about this market is? It's the community vibe, because people walk by, they see what's in your hand, and they say, where did you get that? What line is it? You start conversations very easily here.
You really do, yeah. Everyone's very opinionated too. And
for anyone who's not had a bonito before, including myself, what exactly is this?
Okay, so I've only had this one time at an Ecuadorian restaurant in Queens. So Ecuadorian food is very common here in Queens. We have a huge community, but these bolones, they're plantain balls, so it's mashed plantain. They actually add some chicharron, there's some cheese here. They top it off with their own sauce. It's like a green, not sure exactly what it is.
Esmeralda sauce.
Esmeralda, yeah. Let's see what the Esmeralda sauce is, but it's really nice. You don't really see this on the streets very much, so it's actually pretty unique, even for a cuisine that's very popular here in Queens. So let's see what it's all about.
Really soft and chewy, and Esmeralda sauce doesn't overpower it at all to me. It just kind of complements it.
Definitely has like a herbal flavor. You get that crunch, you get a bit of smokiness from the chicharron and the bacon. And the plantains are more the green plantains, so not very sweet.
I can't forget that it is very hot coconut juice, and you can even taste the little pieces of coconut. You saw them like grinding it, right?
Yeah, so I'm adding grated coconut to the juice, so
I've had plantains, I guess, like Colombian spots before.
I'll tell you, this reminds me of a little bit, not flavor-wise, but concept-wise, of mofongo. Like Dominican and Puerto Rican mofongo, but totally different flavor. This is nice. I like this. It's a little more subtle, more subdued. Like, part of the fun, too, is just watching them make it fresh. They're making this by hand, each one.
As we were saying, a lot of these businesses, this is their first real foray in public. So they're very friendly. They want to know your opinions on the food. It's a really cool experience.
Yeah, and what's nice about it too is that when you set up here as a vendor, it's very affordable. The market is subsidized. That's why everything is capped at $5 or $6 per dish. So also in turn, the vendor fees are subsidized too. So it's, if you want to get started in the food business here, it's a nice place to get started.
It's really a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Burmese bites. We are getting food that is not that easy to find in New York, right?
No. Yeah, Burmese food is rare to find. This is one of the few, actually. Look at the tray. That's so cool.
If you order for like 10 people, yeah.
Have one keema palata, please.
He's going for a run tonight. He's going to burn all this off. How many of these do you make a night?
About 500.
500.
Thank you.
That was quick.
Since we're in the park, you can actually set up a little picnic here.
Wait, is that supposed to be like a sushi roll? The glory of this market is that you can get a lot of shareable stuff for $5 or $6. Keema palata. This is, again, something I've never had before.
Yeah, this is from Burmese Bites. They're one of the most famous vendors here. They've been here for many years. Another one of the success stories. So it's hard to find Burmese food here in New York City. So they started here at the night market. They're still here, but they also have a stall in the Queens Center Mall, one of the busiest malls in the whole country, actually. So they're in the food court. You have your basic mall food and you have Burmese food there.
Only in Queens, right?
Yeah. So this is a keema palata. It's kind of like a roti, but inside there's minced chicken. And here is a little bit of raita. It's like a yogurt, cucumber sauce on the side.
Did I just get two at once? Did I?
I think you did, doubling up. Actually have it by itself first.
That is just packed with flavor right there.
Oh yeah.
This is what I'm looking for out of the market. That bite right there, experiencing flavors like that I'm not normally used to.
So nice about this is that it's kind of crunchy, kind of soft at the same time, and then inside you have that nicely spiced chicken. And then when you have another bite with the yogurt cucumber to kind of cool it all off and add a little bit of crunch to it as well. The yogurt sauce really enhances it.
I could down these in one bite.
Easily.
I don't know about sharing them. I think I would go back for more, personally, but if you're on a little food tour here.
You come for the food and you stay for like the overall experience. The vendors making it, the vibe here out in the grass, like
music playing.
Yeah.
So this is good for a big group of friends as well. And you guys can just like split up and share food from different countries. It's a lot easier than like running around Roosevelt Ave, especially in weather like this.
And we even saw a woman who brought her own big tray, like at a restaurant. She had a tray of like 10 dishes.
Sometimes you gotta lead with your nose. Our sense of scent brought us here.
Oh yeah, the aroma is incredible here.
Wet plates and one burrs.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Sega wet plate and no utensils because it's Ethiopian food.
Ethiopian food, traditionally eat it with your hands. So we have here the injera, that's a traditional Ethiopian bread. It's fermented, made with teff grain. It's got kind of a sourdough taste to it. Ethiopia is one of my favorite cuisines, like a real flavor bomb, flavor pack.
I've had it a couple times before. It's been a while, but this, again, is something I really wanted to try at the night market.
Here they give us a rolled up piece of the injera, so see, it's kind of like a spongy texture. You see all the holes there? So I like to just rip it like that. Then, go with this. Try to get a little veggie in there. I'm gonna have to use it's gonna get on my fingers, but it's all right. I'll just go like this. Use the thumb to kind of shovel it down. That's a real flavor bomb. Underneath it all, like not only all the spices and that beef there, but you get that underlying tangy, sour flavor from the injera and that like spongy texture. Wonderful. And if you don't eat beef, they do have lentil as well.
We'll just do the beef. I saw them slow cooking this in the corner, and I knew that it would taste amazing, but I just practically melted in my mouth. And then some of the spices are coming up at the end there.
Yeah.
This thing's got some kick to it, and I like it. Now I'm gonna try to make Greg proud and get beef and some veggies in one.
Do it, John. Let's go.
That was a warm up.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
So try to get, I don't know.
Got it.
All right, ready? Okay, just don't try this at home. It was better though with the veggies. It was much better. So many flavors going on, you're absolutely right. Could that be the biggest flavor bomb in the whole market right there?
It's definitely up there. Usually when you go to Ethiopian restaurant, you get a big platter. Usually you share with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Here is like one of the rare opportunities you can get more of an individual, smaller portion, which is rare. You can't really get that elsewhere.
If you're enjoying this street food adventure, consider booking Greg's street food tour of Queens. Many of my viewers have told me it was the highlight of their trip to New York. Link down below in the description. You won't regret spending an afternoon with this guy.
Yeah, I'd love to see you. Come book my tour. Skewers, the skewers are really good.
2 of the beef and chicken skewers, 2 orders. Thanks so much. Is there anything better than meat on a stick for street food? I mean, that's the classic.
You gotta do at least one at every market you go to, right? This is unique because Cambodian food is very, very hard to find in New York City. They're one of the only people selling Cambodian food in the whole city. It's pretty crazy to think, right?
Greg, I don't know what's more beautiful, this chicken on a stick or that sunset right there.
Why not both? That skewer in front of the sun.
Equally beautiful. That's why they call it the night market. We will be here after dark. But yeah, enough talking. Let's try this. Anybody can put meat in a stick. But not anybody can do it this well. So juicy and tender.
What I love about Cambodian barbecue sticks is that all the marinade you really taste. There's turmeric in here, there's lemongrass, there's so much flavor. Sometimes even a little bit of lime leaves too. And it's so hard to find this in New York. I wish it was more, all Cambodians in New York, if you can just start opening up some barbecue stalls, please, you will get a lot of people. It's so good.
How can you tell all the flavors? I've always been curious about that.
I like a lot of different spices in food, so over time I pick it up. Sometimes I don't cook very much, but when I do cook, I do use like turmeric, cumin, spices like that.
So it's from the cooking that you have that background, right?
A little, but it's like a mix of that, plus researching the food and trying it a lot.
Meanwhile, I'm like, this is good. Bold statement coming. It's maybe the best meat in a stick I've ever had in New York.
Probably wouldn't disagree with you there, actually, because the way it's marinated, no one else is doing this.
The marination here, that's what's standing out.
I think if you were just to walk by and you'd see it, you might overlook the stall, actually, because there's a few stalls here selling meat on a stick, but don't overlook this Cambodian one, do not.
So outside of being probably the most diverse street food market in the world, you also have the most diverse crowd in the world. Family friendly, a lot of tourists are watching. What would you tell them?
I would say, yeah, this is like the market for everybody. You know, you have everything's priced at $5 or $6 or less. You really get all walks of life here. And it's really not too far coming into the city on the 7 train. It's very family friendly. People come here with their dogs. It's just a good vibe altogether. You can even get beers here for $6, which is pretty good value.
Beer and wine. We may do that later.
Yeah.
Could I get the cassava leaf with the moringa leaf rice?
Thank you.
What friendly owners. This is what I'm talking about when you come to the night market. Getting that kind of hospitality.
Yeah, really sweet people. And I love it that we're not shy about saying they're the only people selling Sierra Leonean food in New York.
I think most people would be hard pressed to even pinpoint Sierra Leone on a map, let alone having tried their food before. But here I am trying it for the first time. Very earthy. And of all the food we've had so far today, I would say this tastes the most homemade. Like they were just in their kitchen and brought it downstairs and served it to us. That's the vibe I get from it.
I couldn't agree more on that. The rice here is moringa leaf rice. You can see the bits of herb here, of the moringa leaf. And you have the stew. This is cassava leaf stew that already has a very earthy flavor. I think cassava is like a root vegetable, right? So these are leaves from it. It's slow cooked. You can tell they're very just proud of their food, just very friendly, and just, I love like you can't find Sierra Leonean food anywhere in New York. Yeah, just like you said, homemade and like healthy even.
This is kind of addicting, I'm not gonna lie. And not just this food, just trying food from all over. It's like just close your eyes and point at a spot and you're probably gonna find something that you're not likely to find wherever you come from.
Yeah, it's a very nice portion, it's very hearty, and just $5. You really can't go wrong. Overall, it's April to the last weekend of October. They take about a 4 or 5 week break for the US Open. That's in like mid-August to about mid-September. Because it's in Flushing Meadow Park. This is where the US Open is. Literally the stadium is just right over there, so.
They got busy tonight too.
I think now because the weather's getting milder.
Cadet combo, right?
Yeah, cadet combo, yeah.
Do one of those.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moon Man, I filmed here 7 years ago. They're a staple of the Queens Night Market.
They are. They've been here for over 7 years. Always a go-to. Literally every time I come to this market, which is almost every month, I always get the same thing. They're making Indonesian desserts that you can't really find in New York City, especially the coconut pancake. Yeah. It's got a funky name, Moon Man. It's kind of like a little creative too. It's not just like, it's good branding.
And it's fun to watch them make it too. Talked about how it's a whole little show here.
This is a cassava cake, topped with a pandan jam. It's a little more subtle. They call this the cadet combo, you know, kind of a play on Moon Man. Make sure you get some of that pandan jam. So.
I need some, yeah. It's very spongy. All right.
Yeah, it's got an interesting texture.
right, it's very soft, gooey almost, I would say.
Yeah, gooey is a perfect way to describe it, I would say. The cassava itself is pretty earthy. Cassava is a pretty earthy flavor. We have it topped with that pandan jam. That pandan is a really interesting flavor, and I can't even describe it. It's very popular all over Southeast Asia. It's a little creamy as well. Yeah, sticky rice with ube jam. So,
Oh, ube Filipino.
yep.
You know, what can't you put ube on?
I'm a very trendy and hot these days for good reason. But I love the texture of the sticky rice there too. It's a bit of that coconut flavor too. And actually it's topped off a little bit of salt too. It adds a little bit of saltiness, a little savoriness to pair with the sweet.
Now you said we're gonna save this for the end. There's a little bit of a flavor explosion with, what's this?
So this is the coconut pancake. This is their best seller, their most famous dish. This is really the showstopper. Batter, it's made with rice flour and coconut milk. So they cook it there. Then they put palm sugar on top and blowtorch it. So it's like a brulee texture. Then add on some coconut and more balsamic.
It's like a little smoky flavor.
It is. It's a bit of smokiness, like crunchy texture, smokiness, and it's also soft and gooey inside too. I love it. And that little extra texture from the coconut on top as well. I get these all the time. I think it's, hot take, one of the best desserts in New York City.
Every time Greg says we can't find it anywhere else in the city, take a shot. You'd be very drunk by the end of this video.
I think so. At this market, that's how.
So definitely not your traditional American flavors for dessert. Simple as that.
It's not overly sweet, even though there's like palm sugar and coconut. It's really not too sweet. None of these desserts are, which is great.
That's the problem growing up in the U.S. Okay. So used to everything being sugar, sugar, sugar. I was saying how unique this was. We want to tell people if they've never tried this before, why should they come here?
Well, I mean, these are street food that I grew up with. I started this business partially because last time I went back to Indonesia, it's hard to find this thing. Like I have to go deep into like the traditional market to find it, and well, it used to be like widely available on the street. And part of me just don't want this to disappear in a way. That's why I kickstarted a regional market and hopefully, share it with people in New York City.
This is an endangered species we're eating. More or less.
Endangered craft, more or less.
Now that you know about the Queens Night Market, in this video we show you some amazing street food in Queens, hidden gems. You don't want to miss it. Watch this next.